हम्म, आओ जी लाइव सेशन में आ जाओ होगा। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। नहीं तुम्हारे फोन से चाहो, फोन में चालू करा लो, यहाँ से देखो परवानी, नो प्रॉब्लम। Hi everybody, welcome back to a new session. So we're just waiting a few minutes for people to join. कैसा मेरा हुआ? मेरा नहीं हुआ। मेरा हुआ? अच्छा, ओके। Okay. So today's topic is what is education? Okay. हेलो, भेज कौन दो हो? तुम्हारा मैसेज भेजो बोले हमें, तुम ना तुम मैसेज भेजो, मैं फॉरवर्ड करता हूँ। अरे तुम्हें मैसेज भेजो, मुझे एक व्हाट्सएप मैसेज भेजो मुझे। Okay. ओपन कर। Okay, so For some reason, some people are getting delayed to join. So we request everybody to join as soon as possible so we can start the session. There are a lot of people out there who are waiting anxiously for this program to start. Okay, so for the benefit of those who have joined us, let's start. So basically, today we are going to look at what is education, because education is the hot topic now in discussion because of the policy change that has been that has been already uh, started. The implementation is starting from the government, which is called new education policy. So in new education policy, uh, it is a completely a different paradigm of education compared to what we used to normally learn and graduate from college schools and colleges. So let's see what is education. Most people think education is going to schools, colleges. So yes, this is true, this is part of education, no denial. And we consider education to be exams, making projects, assignments. Yeah. So basically, we go to schools and colleges because there's a formal setup. It's a formal setup, and the way it is designed is classes are run, and then periodically there'll be exams conducted, and we'll also be expected to do some projects and assignments based on which we will get marks. So we are all behind the race to score. Okay, so there's a slight issue, so I'm trying to set that uh, right. Okay. I may have to for a for a couple of minutes. I may have to stop the streaming because YouTube is displaying some. There is some technical error. I apologize for this. I'll just be back in 2 minutes. Okay. So hopefully you're able to see now. Okay. Right. So we are always behind trying to get high marks, and that's what the rat race is all about. And the objective behind that is to obtain a degree and get awards. So the whole focus and whole purpose of education, we bring it down or confine it to just accept getting degrees and receiving awards. Okay, so this is what education we have generally we think education is. So I'll go through the uh, points again because some of you may have joined a little later for their benefit. So, so most people think schools is nothing but schools and colleges where education is imparted, education is given out, and we think education is about exams and doing projects, assignments. Yeah, so it's about exams and projects and obtaining high marks as much as possible. There's a funny anecdote here. An old lady aged 96 scores 98%. So in state literacy exam. So basically, even people so old are also behind marks. So it's just a pun out there. Okay. So the whole purpose behind is to get degrees and awards. All right. So now let's see. And once we get the degrees and awards, the next milestone, life milestone, is to secure a very high position, becoming a VP, director. They're all good, and I'm not saying we should not aim for that. That's not what I mean. And to live a luxurious life, a comfortable life, to live a life with high social status. Yes, these are the uh, end byproducts of education, but these should not be the real goal why education needs to be acquired. So that's the point of this video. So now let's see what real education is. The real education is the ability to choose what is best for the situation, what is good for you, what is good for the society, what is good for progress, development. It's not that burger and chips is always bad and vegetables and salads are always good. This is just an example I've chosen. So you have to strike a balance. So if you're having a party, if you're enjoying and you've done really good for yourself, at that time, yes, you need to binge bite. You need to eat something which your heart wants, yearns. At that time, you go and uh, you're going on a holiday, you're having a good time. At that time, yes, you have to have something which your heart loves and looks for. So it's not always, so even at that time if you use salads and stuff like that, it might be boring. So basically it's just two comparisons I'm making. In every aspect of life you have to choose what based on what is better for you, and this is the uh, capacity to judge is what education provides. Over here you can see this is a very terrible and an illegal activity out there. But it happens everywhere, even at school level, at colleges, at workplace, in society. So bullying, those kids are making fun of this child. So education should actually help us determine or differentiate what is right and wrong. So if we are part of that group and we feel that because majority of them are laughing at him or her, let me be a part of it. So that's where we need to take a decision. No, we have to differentiate. No, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. So education provides us that ability to distinguish. Now yes. So if we have this ability to distinguish between right and wrong, we will develop the courage to stand up for our values we live for. Like in the image, you can see Dandi March. It's a salt satyagraha, uh, a freedom struggle activity that had taken place, protest that had taken place, and Gandhiji was leading the people, where the British government had imposed taxes on salt. So this is a non-violent opposition against the people in power. So we need to develop courage to stand up for the values which are good for humanity, good for us and for others. So we need to have that courage and we need to be bold enough to stand against the powerful. Because generally what happens is the powerful, they come up with rules and laws. Generally they are in power. uh, and the corrupt, generally they try to take big positions so that they can control people. On the other side, the weak are always on the receiving side. They are always the victims. They are the people who get oppressed by others. So, after a certain point, the weak, although the opposition is very strong, they can do a lot of damage to us. But we need to stand up for the values which is good for us and for the future generations. So, now, also, very important, now coming towards a different dimension, a personal dimension, um, talking about an individual. You need education should help you possess self confidence. So you should be saying, yes, I can. As you can see in the image, the can't, the T is being removed. So basically, before learning something, everything it seems that we cannot do it. But after we learn the knowledge and the skills required for it, then it becomes uh, the setup changes. You start believing that yes, I can do this, and that's the one of the main purpose of education. And once you develop self confidence, then you are ready to take up new challenges, something which other people feel that it is not possible, it is unconquered, it is uh, something which is out of reach of humans. So those things, we, because we have the knowledge, we have the skills, we have the confidence, and then break open the boundaries that we are limited into. So we push the boundaries and create new avenues, new spheres, new universe for ourselves, and seeing us, other people will also follow suit. So we become a source of inspiration for the rest. And this, most importantly, uh, at the end of the day, education is only good if it helps us achieve, gain human qualities, because we all coexist. And in order for us to coexist, we need to have certain qualities in us which will make us acceptable, which will make us loved by others, and we live a satisfying life. There are a lot of rich people who have achieved a lot of wealth, positions, but they have still gone ahead and committed suicide. So, if attaining a position or attaining wealth or attaining amassing a lot of wealth is real success, then those people would have never felt distressed or depressed. If you look at the stats, it says otherwise. So, in order for us to live a satisfying life, a contented life, a life which is full of substance, we need to have these qualities. I've just summarized them into four. Number one is we need to be humble. As in the image you can see, the man is taller, but he is seeing himself to be short. So, being humble is that, where irrespective of your position, irrespective of your material wealth, irrespective of how many qualities you have, you always feel that I am not too great. So, that is the real strength of a human being. So, that's one thing. Second thing, as you can see, that young lady is helping the old lady carrying her stuff. So, we need to be helpful to other people. Basically, what is being helpful? Helpful is when you understand somebody's needs and you try to fulfill the needs for them. It's generally the weak and the oppressed and the people uh, who don't have the capacity to do something need help. Like, for example, I don't mean rich people and poor people. That's not what I mean. Like, for example, a person is very rich and he's going on a highway. For some unfortunate reason, his vehicle gets stalled and he is on his own. He or she is on his own. And that person is looking around, he finds no one, then he goes nearby to a hut where a poor family is living. Now, this man has been traveling for long hours. He's tired, he's thirsty, he's hungry, and there's no hotel or nothing around. And he doesn't have money on him, too, because he doesn't carry money. He carries cards and other things which is cannot be used over there in that deserted place. There's a there's a poor old family out there. So he goes out to them asking for some help. At that time, these elderly people, they are poor, whatever little they have, they share that food and drink to this person. Now, this is what is being helpful. Now, his need, irrespective of his status, irrespective of his position, at that particular time, he's constrained. He doesn't have money, there are no restaurants or there are no shops for him to buy, and there's nobody else he can contact. So, he is constrained to a lot of problems at that time. Now, his cards, these people cannot do anything with that. So, this is where human values come into picture. And those people, they are not seeing any benefit from that person. They are saying that he's just like us. What if we feel hungry? That's our need. He's also feeling the same. So let us help him. So this is what is being helpful on a larger platform. Okay, forgiveness. This is one of the greatest qualities a person can have, because every one of us, whether directly or indirectly, we hurt somebody or the other. And generally, the people who love us the most, who care for us and who are close to us, to them we hurt them the most. And so once they hurt us or we hurt them, generally we have resentment in our hearts, and it is not easy to let go of those feelings. So forgiveness is one of the greatest quality a human being can have. It is very difficult, but with practice we can become very forgiving. All right. So, and another very important quality is being just. As you can see in that image, uh, it's a plank with having two stones, and it is balancing um, reasonably well. So what we like for ourselves is what we have to uh, wish for others. Every religious text says the same thing. They say that, or any those who don't. Uh, so basically, what I'm saying is, even in humanity, this principle is what is promoted. That you wish for others what you wish for yourself. So that's being just. If my brother has done wrong to someone, I have to give him the same punishment which I would have done to somebody else's brother, applying to my own self. So these are the four qualities education should help us achieve. Now let's move on. How to achieve them? So we need to develop, sorry, yeah, we need to develop uh, the ability to think very clearly. Okay, how do we think clearly? We think clearly if we break the entire thing into its components, into its parts, and understand each aspect fully. So we have to think clearly. Uh, Generally, we'll have concepts, we'll have processes, so we have to break them down. If we develop the habit of breaking, we have the habit to breaking the complex thing into smaller units, then things become quite manageable, and we can see very clearly uh, what is needed and where things are going. Right. So, what's the next? We need to understand fully. Okay. Once we think clearly, now we need to try and understand things very clearly. How do we understand things very clearly? We need to see the concept, the idea from various angles, various dimensions. As you can see here in the picture, that is about wellness. Wellness can be seen from the mental aspect, from the spiritual aspect, from the emotional aspect, from the social, environmental aspect, and the physical aspect. So we have to, generally what happens is we take one or two perspectives, and we constrain our thinking to that. No, we have to take all that is at stake, all that comprises around it. So then we will understand it very clearly, which will help us to evaluate accurately which needs to be given more importance. Okay, the emotional aspect I need to give more importance. The physical, like for example, somebody is uh, planning to compete in international games. Their physical wellness is very very important. So they have to be very cautious about what they eat, when they eat, and what impact it will have on their body, so on and so forth. Now, for example, if somebody is a parent or is a teacher, they're the emotional well-being of the children, especially those children who are little afraid, or something new is being given them to do. That time emotionally they'll be very disturbed. The physical thing is not that important, but the emotional side will becomes very important. Because initially when something is thrown at you, it's new, it looks very humongous, you find it very difficult. So at that time, parents and the mentors, if they said they speak words and they reassure the person that no, you have the ability, you can pull it off. So based on that, you have to evaluate accurately, and you have to decide justly. Okay, this is very very important, because your priorities has to be correct, because what is more important, you need to give that weightage more to that particular aspect, so which I've already explained. So you have to decide justly. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it, like for example, if you're giving out chocolates, or you're giving out cakes, so you've brought different cakes for different friends, some expensive ones for, so then they are not being just. So they are all your equal friends, they are all your best friends, but you, you're giving a larger portion to one friend and less portion to another one, so you're not being just. So you need to be just. Okay, then we, we need to implement exactly. See, the whole point of planning is, in order to make applying what we have planned as we have planned. So if we implement exactly how we have thought of, that's when we will get the results that we initially started for. So as you can see, then in image, he's setting up the tiles. So if he uh, fixes the tiles slightly tilted to one side or the other, the entire set of tiles will also change the shape, and the entire thing will look um not good actually. And so implementation is very important. So this is where most of the times uh, problems happen. So whenever you plan something, and if it is not implemented, like for example, you create a timetable. Okay, I say that I'll get up at 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock I'll do this, 7 o'clock I'll do this. I've distributed my time for doing this job and for this study, whatever. And if it is not implemented that way, it will have an effect on all the other things that are dependent on that time. So implementation is very important, and review repeatedly. So the whole purpose of having classroom corrections and other things is for us to understand uh, what we did right and it in what needs improvement. So if we keep constant review of how we what we planned, what we implemented, what was the outcome, we keep a review of that, then we can refine our judgments, and we become better decision making in that aspect, and our implementation and execution becomes more efficient. And then you have to adjust accordingly based on what your findings are. You adjust things accordingly. Okay, so basically that's what I have for you today, and we will be coming up with lot of other videos where I'll be going into different aspects of education, like what is critical thinking, what is problem solving, what is analytical skills, what are study skills, what are communication skills, a lot of different aspects for which we would have to dedicate a separate session for each topic. Otherwise, it will be too cramped. So as of now, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Please do press the like button and leave your comments. Your comments are extremely important for us. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for taking your time out and joining us for this session. And we will meet next Sunday with some other topic. Till then, take care of yourself. Have a great Sunday and look forward for a great week ahead. I wish you all the luck for the week. Thank you so much. Bye for now.